Hello, I'm Robert, and you're welcome here in my busy little shop. A little bit different perspective of my shop today. I thought I would take just a minute to do just a quick walkthrough of my shop, and I want to cover a couple of issues. I see people asking about suggestions on tools, what to buy, and finding really good deals on tools. There's nothing wrong with finding a good deal on a tool. So let me go through my shop, and we'll go from there. So I'm fortunate. I've got a large space here along one wall. Yep, I'm in the garage. It's my shop. And it gives me an area to organize. So this is mainly my hardware here in this section. There's a few other places here, but I use those DeWalt boxes to organize it in. And it's worked out really well. As I come down through here, just other miscellaneous supplies, and I thought I would cover a couple things here. I've had people talk about, buying the right tool for the right job. And I guess it really kind of depends on where you're at with your hobby. I call this a hobby business more than anything. Well, my most expensive purchase is obviously the sewing machine here. And I fretted over this for probably it was more than a year on buy a sewing machine or not. And I felt like if I bought the sewing machine, I was really committed to doing a lot of work with it, obviously, because it was not an inexpensive purchase. But I've been able to make more bags and totes as a result of it. And I could hand sew those, but it takes a bag that would maybe take me an hour and a half to sew. I can sew in like 5 or 10 minutes with the sewing machine. And I don't use it on my belts. I have only hand sewn my belts. That's it. Any sewing on a belt is hand done. Here's a couple of belts here I finished not long ago that I need to get sent off to the client that they're for. I think they came out really pretty nice. So when I go down through here and I think about things that I've purchased that I don't use, I really don't have very many things that I've purchased that I don't use. Maybe there's an odd size in a round end punch or such that I don't use as often as the others. And I've said before, the round end punches, English punches, even the bag punch to make the long oval, you can do those with other tools. But I really like the uniformity of my belts when I use those punches. But where I was going with it, the items that I have here, and they're really some fairly small items here in my hand tools that I don't use that often. And most of them came when I bought a kit that had a couple things in there I wanted, but I went ahead and bought the kit thinking I'd use the other items, and I don't. I have a few items that I purchased. I purchased originally a set of the Tandy edgers, and they were like 4 edgers with one handle that you would trade out. And a couple things about that. One is if they've got one handle and you trade them out, it takes a pretty disciplined person when you're going from one spot to the next that you want to change from, say, a number 2 to a number 3 to make that change. And inevitably what I would end up doing is I'd use whatever was in the holder. So this was a splurge for me when I bought these. These are Ron's tools, and they're just fabulous to work with. They hold a really good edge, and so I upgraded that. So most of what I've got, I haven't had to upgrade. That I upgraded, and right now I can't think of anything else that I upgraded from a less expensive tool, because I really believe that for the most part, you get what you pay for. And if you buy the quality tool the first time, then you don't have to spend more money when you've saved money on a lesser quality tool. But obviously, some of that's going to be dependent on, the extent that you get to with your hobby. I really like this drawer system here. I cut straps for my belts and I keep them in here. So when I get a hide out, it used to be that I would roll a hide out, I'd cut the strap I needed for a belt, and then I put the hide away. But now when I get a hide out, I cut it up and fill the boxes, at that time, and it saves a lot of time getting it out and back. And I think probably the biggest thing that is a challenge is trying to figure out how to organize your supplies so they're readily available. And you know, like thread, I've got thread in this drawer here. I've got thread over there. I'd like to make a rack, but I move my shop back and forth from summer to winter in 2 locations. So having a large rack on the wall to hold the thread it doesn't make as much sense for me. So anyway, I just thought I would go through here and talk about that. Oh, I do remember now, I upgraded from the Tandy yellow mallet to this Barry King mallet. I hope you enjoy this tour of the shop, and I guess my little bit of thoughts on, you know, organization and buying the tools that you need to do the work. Hope you're having a great day. Please like, share, and subscribe.